Ever wondered what goes into making a Mars bar? Spoiler alert, it's not just magic and fairy dust. Although, that would be cool. Today, we're diving into the deliciously sticky world of Mars bars. We're talking gooey caramel, fluffy nougat, and chocolate that makes you question your life choices. So, grab your sweet tooth, because we're about to uncover the mouth-watering secrets of how your favorite candy bar comes to life in a factory. And don't worry, no Martians were harmed in the making of this video. But we can't say the same for your hunger cravings. Let's get started. Ever wondered what gives Mars bars that irresistible chew? It's all in the nougat, folks. Let's take a look at the giant mixers whipping up this fluffy goodness. Making perfect nougat is trickier than you'd think. Too much mixing leads to tough nougat, while not enough results in a gooey mess. First up, we've got the egg whites. Watch them go for a spin. They're whipped up separately to get extra fluffy. It's like watching a magic transformation from liquid to cloud-like fluff. The mixers work their magic, turning those runny egg whites into a light, airy foam. Pretty cool to see how something so liquid can become so voluminous, right? Now for the sweet stuff, sugar syrup joins the party. This isn't just any sugar water. It's heated to a precise temperature to give the nougat its signature texture. Too hot and you'll end up with hard candy. Too cool and it won't set properly. Factory workers have to be real sugar ninjas to get it just right. Check out how they add malted milk powder. It's the secret weapon for that toasty flavor we all love. You might not realize it when you're chomping down on a Mars bar, but that subtle malty taste makes it so addictive. It's what takes the flavor from yum to wow. A dash of vanilla extract goes in next. Can you smell that? It's like your grandma's kitchen, but way bigger. The aroma fills the air, making everyone wish they could take a bite right then and there. But hold on, we're not done yet. Now comes the tricky part. All these ingredients need to come together just right. The mixers start slow, gently folding everything together. Then they pick up speed, whipping the mixture into a frenzy. It's like a nougat tornado in there. The factory workers keep a close eye on the process, ensuring it's not overmixed or undermixed. As the mixing continues, you can see the nougat changing. It starts to look glossy and smooth, with tiny air bubbles throughout. That's what gives Mars bars their unique texture. Not too hard, not too soft, but just right. Goldilocks would approve. The nougat mixture starts to thicken and pull away from the sides of the mixer. That's when you know it's almost ready. The workers do a quick test, lifting a spoonful and letting it fall back into the bowl. If it forms soft peaks that hold their shape, it's good to go. But wait, there's more. The nougat needs to cool down and set before it can be used in the bars. It's poured into large trays and left to rest. During this time, it firms up slightly, making it easier to work with in the next stages of the Mars bar making process. So that's how they nail the nougat every time. It's a perfect balance of science and sweetness. Who knew there was so much going on in that fluffy layer of your favorite candy bar? Next time you bite into a Mars bar, you'll know the secret behind its irresistible chew. Now that we've mastered the fluffy nougat, it's time to get sticky. Ever wondered why Mars bar's caramel is so perfectly gooey? It's a sweet science experiment happening right before our eyes. Let's check out the massive caramel-making kettles. These aren't your grandma's pots. They're like modern witches' cauldrons, but way tastier. These kettles are double-walled, which means they can control the heat super precisely. No burnt sugar here. Making caramel in a Mars bar factory is all about balance. The pros have to nail the perfect consistency every single time. Watch that sugar melt. It's kind of hypnotizing, isn't it? The sugar gets heated up nice and slow in these special kettles. This careful melting is key to avoiding any nasty crystallization or scorching. Now they're adding butter to the mix. Listen to that sizzle. It's bubbling away like a witch's brew, but trust me, it smells way better. The butter isn't just there to make things tasty. It's also giving the caramel that luxurious melt-in-your-mouth feel we all love. Here comes the cream, turning our sugar lava into a golden river of deliciousness. The cream has to go in bit by bit, or the whole thing might separate. It's like a delicate dance between the ingredients. Look at those paddles go. They're stirring non-stop to keep the caramel smooth and lump-free. It's all about getting that perfect consistency. Too thin, and it'll just run off the nougat. Too thick and you might lose a tooth trying to eat it. The caramel cooks until it hits the perfect temperature. This is where the real magic happens. The factory uses super precise temperature control to get it just right. Even a few degrees off can totally change the texture. But wait, there's more. Just when you think the caramel's done, they throw in a pinch of salt. Yep, you heard that right. Salt in your sweet treat. It might sound weird, but that tiny bit of salt actually makes the caramel taste even better by balancing out all that sweetness. Now it's time for the caramel to meet its nougat soulmate. The finished caramel gets piped through heated tubes right onto the cooled nougat layer. It's like frosting a cake, but way cooler. These tubes keep the caramel flowing smoothly, so it spreads out in a nice, even layer. But they're not done yet. The caramel-covered nougat takes a little trip through a cooling tunnel. This isn't just to chill it out, it's to make sure the caramel sets just enough to stick to the nougat without turning into a hard candy. The whole process is a feast for the senses. The rich, buttery smell fills the air, and the sound of bubbling caramel is like music to a candy lover's ears. And let's not forget the sight. That golden caramel flowing onto the nougat is practically mesmerizing. It's enough to make your mouth water just watching it all come together. Fresh out of the cooling tunnel, our caramel nougat duo is about to take a chocolate plunge. Ever dreamed of swimming in chocolate? Well, at the Mars Bar factory, it's just another day at work. Welcome to the enrobing station. It's like a chocolate car wash for candy bars. Now, coating each bar evenly is trickier than you might think. Too thin, and the bar's practically naked. Too thick, and you've got yourself a chocolate brick. But don't worry, the Mars team has it down to a science. Check out that chocolate waterfall. It's the grand finale of the Mars Bar makeover. The bars move along a conveyor belt, passing through this continuous curtain of melted chocolate. It's mesmerizing, isn't it? This chocolate shower ensures each bar gets completely covered from top to bottom. Let's talk about this chocolate. It's the essence of Mars Bar magic, carefully prepared using a blend of cocoa solids, cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder. Each ingredient is measured precisely to create that signature Mars Bar taste and texture we all know and love. Now for the tempering process. It's like a spa day for chocolate, but way more precise. The chocolate goes through a heating and cooling roller coaster ride, with temperatures carefully controlled between 27 degrees Celsius and 45 degrees Celsius. That's 81 degrees Fahrenheit to 113 degrees Fahrenheit for our American friends. This process is crucial for giving the chocolate its smooth texture and shiny appearance. Look at those air jets. As the bars exit the chocolate curtain, these jets blow off excess chocolate. No chocolate wasted here. Any extra drips off and gets collected in a reservoir below. This chocolate gets filtered and recycled back into the tempering machine. Talk about efficiency. Now the bars are shimmying down a vibrating belt. It's like a chocolate dance party. This gentle shaking helps shake off any stubborn air bubbles and smooths out the surface of the chocolate. The result? A clean, uniform finish that looks as good as it tastes. But we're not done yet. Check out those textured rollers creating that iconic wave pattern on top of each bar. It's not just pretty, it actually helps the chocolate set evenly. Plus, it gives each Mars bar that distinctive look we all recognize. Now that our bars are dressed for success, it's time for the final step in their chocolate makeover. The freshly coated bars enter a cooling tunnel. Here, they're exposed to carefully controlled temperatures. This isn't just to cool them down, it's to make sure the chocolate solidifies properly without causing bloom. What's bloom, you ask? It's that whitish film you sometimes see on chocolate. It happens when cocoa butter rises to the surface, and it's definitely not what we want on our Mars bars. Just when you thought our Mars bars were ready to hit the shelves, they're whisked away for a final inspection. Welcome to the quality control room, where these chocolate-covered delights face their toughest challenge yet. It's like the final exam for Mars bars, and only the best of the best make the grade. Let's check out what goes on in this chocolate command center. High-tech cameras and expert human inspectors work together like a well-oiled machine. These chocolate detectives scan each bar, searching for any imperfections. They're checking out the size, shape, and coating of every single bar. Even the tiniest air pocket or uneven chocolate spread can't escape their watchful eyes. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Remember when you were a kid and dreamed of having a job where you could eat chocolate all day? Well, for some lucky folks at Mars, that dream is a reality. The taste test is a super important part of quality control. Trained testers get to sample bars throughout the day, making sure each one is as delicious as the last. You can see the passion in their eyes as they savor each bite. knowing they're preserving that nostalgic Mars bar experience we all love. These taste testers have a big responsibility on their hands and taste buds. They're checking for that perfect snap when you break the bar and the gooey center that Mars bars are famous for. It's not just about enjoying a sweet treat. These folks are using their expert palates to ensure every bar meets the high standards Mars is known for. It's like they're professors of chocolate, making sure each bar earns its diploma in deliciousness before it graduates to your local store shelf. Look over at those charts on the wall. They're tracking all sorts of important stuff. Color, chewiness, you name it. It's like a report card for Mars bars, making sure they're top of the class in every category. These charts help the team spot any trends or issues before they become big problems. Now, you might be wondering what happens to the bars that don't make the cut. Well, Mars has thought of that too. Bars that fail to meet those sky-high standards are removed from the production line. But here's a cool twist. Some of these rejects get a second chance. They're reprocessed to recover ingredients, which is a smart way to cut down on waste and be more eco-friendly. All this attention to detail ensures that every Mars bar you unwrap is picture perfect and delicious. It's why you can always count on that familiar taste and texture, whether you're munching on a Mars bar in New York or nibbling one in New Delhi. This meticulous quality control is the secret ingredient that guarantees the signature Mars bar experience in every bite. It's not just about making candy, it's about crafting moments of pure chocolate bliss that take you right back to your childhood with every creamy, caramel-filled bite. You might think our Mars bars are ready to hit the shelves, but hold on to your sweet tooth. There's one more step that's faster than a sugar rush. Ever seen a machine that can wrap hundreds of chocolate bars per minute? You're about to. Welcome to the packaging area, where our Mars bars get dressed for their big debut. It's like a fashion show for candy, but these bars are zooming down the conveyor belt catwalk so fast, you might miss it if you blink. Check out those Mars bars racing along the conveyor belt. They're moving at lightning speed, heading straight for the high-speed wrapping machines. These clever devices are ready to give each bar its iconic outfit. Now, watch how the machine folds the wrapper around each bar. It's like the world's fastest gift wrapper, but with precision engineering instead of clumsy fingers. The wrapper hugs the bar perfectly, no wrinkles or bubbles in sight. One mistake, and that Mars bar has to start all over again. See that heat sealer? It's not just for show. This smart machine uses heat sealing technology to make the packaging airtight. It's like giving each Mars bar its own little spacesuit, protecting it from the harsh environment of, well, air. The shiny wrapper isn't just about looks. It's a high-tech barrier against moisture, light, and air, all the things that could make your Mars bar less than perfect. So next time you're unwrapping your treat, remember that packaging is working overtime to keep it fresh. Let's check out the next step in this chocolate fashion parade. Each wrapper gets stamped with some important info. It's like a tiny tattoo artist, adding batch numbers and expiration dates to every bar. This might seem boring, but it's super important. It helps you track how fresh your Mars bar is and lets the factory keep tabs on every single bar they make. Look at those boxes being filled. It's like a game of Tetris, but with chocolate bars instead of blocks. Each box is carefully packed to make sure your Mars bars arrive at the store in perfect condition. Ever wondered how your local shop always seems to have Mars bars in stock? Well, once those boxes are sealed, they're whisked away by a smart logistics system. This setup makes sure each box is labeled correctly and tracked as it journeys to stores and distribution centers all around the world. From mixing the nougat to wrapping the final product, every step in making a Mars bar is designed with one goal: to make sure you get the perfect chocolate treat every single time. Whether you're munching on a Mars bar in Moscow or savoring one in Sydney, you can count on that familiar taste and quality. Ever wondered how your Mars bar travels from the factory to your fingertips? It's quite the adventure. Let's follow our wrapped bars as they leave the factory and head out into the real world. As soon as the Mars bars are packaged, they're whisked away to temperature-controlled warehouses. These places are like giant high-tech freezers, designed to keep the chocolate at just the right temperature. It's all about protecting those delicious bars from melting or developing that weird white film on the surface. You know the one. Now, you might think that once the bars are wrapped and stored, they're ready to hit the shelves. But hold on to your sweet tooth. There's a whole world of logistics that goes into getting your favorite treat from point A to point B. Look at those refrigerated trucks pulling up to the warehouse. They're like moving candy coolers, ready to transport our Mars bars to their next destination. The drivers have to be extra careful. One wrong turn could lead to a chocolatey disaster. See how the boxes are stacked inside the trucks? The workers use a careful system to make sure the Mars bars don't get squished during their journey. It's like a real-life game of Tetris, but with much tastier pieces. As the trucks hit the road, a high-tech tracking system keeps an eye on every shipment. It's like each box of Mars bars has its own GPS. This way, the Mars team always knows where their precious cargo is and can make sure it's moving quickly and efficiently to its destination. Now, the trucks are arriving at distribution centers. Think of these places as pit stops in the Mars Bar Grand Prix. The bars don't stay here long, but a lot happens in a short time. Watch those forklifts zooming around the warehouse floor. They're like mechanical ballerinas, pirouetting with pallets of Mars bars. The drivers have to be super skilled to navigate through the maze of shelves and other vehicles. Look at the order pickers filling requests for different stores. They're like Santa's elves, but instead of toys, they're dealing with chocolate. They work fast, making sure each store gets exactly what they ordered. But here's the tricky part: keeping those Mars bars in perfect condition right up until they reach the store shelves. It's all about maintaining what's called the cold chain. This means keeping the temperature just right from start to finish. One slip up, and you could end up with a gooey mess instead of a crisp, delicious Mars bar. The last part of the journey, from the distribution center to the store, is called last mile delivery. It's like the final sprint in a race, and it comes with its own set of challenges. The delivery team has to be extra careful to keep the bars from melting or getting damaged. They use special handling techniques and sometimes even more temperature-controlled vehicles to make sure your Mars bar arrives at the store in tip-top shape. And there you have it. That's how Mars bars make their way from the factory to your local store, fresh and ready to eat. It's a journey that involves precision planning, careful handling, and a whole lot of people working behind the scenes to bring you that chocolatey goodness. Now that we've seen the whole journey, you know all the sweet secrets behind every Mars bar. It's amazing how much care goes into these tasty treats. Mars doesn't stop there though. They're always trying new flavors and sizes to keep things exciting, while also focusing on sustainability. They use top-notch ingredients and even reprocess rejected bars to cut down on waste. Why not grab a Mars bar and see if you can taste all that effort? Share the secrets you've learned with friends as you enjoy that chocolatey goodness. Every bite is a story of precision, passion, and a touch of magic, like a little piece of candy history in your hand.